Welcome to the cutting room. I'm David, this is Dav.
We're gonna show you guys around our new space.
This is Control 1. This is our main mix room. It's connected to a very large live room with separate isolation booths. It's featuring solid state logic Origin and these wonderful Genelecs, all of which came from Sweetwater, our friends. Yeah, Dav, why don't you talk about the vocal chain and some of the equipment in the room and why we picked it?
Definitely the go-to vocal chain for most people coming in this room is our vintage Neve 1073s going into the TubeTech CO1B or the Teletronics LA2. Usually in the booth we'll have either the U87, U67, or the C800. Can't really go wrong with any of them through that chain. And then we got a ton of other outboard down here in the rack.
Some more Neves, GML, more TubeTechs, more Pultecs, 1176s. Now this room is really set up to do large tracking sessions and large mixing sessions. I thought the SSL Origin was a brilliant idea because it takes the best features of G-Series console minus the automation and puts it in like a compact format. It's easy to use.
I never worked on an SSL board before. Obviously I knew how like a Pultec worked and like the EQs worked and a compressor worked, but there's something about working in these rooms specifically that makes you have to learn fast, especially when a client is asking you to hook things up and make things sound good.
Like switching to a console like the Origin, it's given me a more comprehensive understanding of like, the first console I ever worked on was the Duality. And that was the only one that I ever learned until we got the Origin. So it's kind of like starting with like a Rolls Royce and just like not knowing how to drive an automatic.
Lots of great choices for signal processing. Large live room, there's an in-suite vocal booth in this room as well, and it's loud. A lot of the gear was procured through Sweetwater. The Origin and the Genelec 1234As.
And we got the sub from them too, right?
That's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, so we got the 1515 sub behind the console here. Can't really pick it up on camera, but this room is crazy, scary loud, and accurate.
Yeah, the Genelecs are really mind-blowing.
Yeah, definitely my favorite pair of mains.
We're pretty excited about them. The design philosophy is a little different when you're designing rooms for DAW workstations. And I think we kind of nailed it here. Everything's laid out very simply. You know, we have a full-time tech now, which, you know, has been helping quite a bit.
The whole goal of this place was, you know, how should I describe it? Like hidden modularity. So all of the rooms, to some degree, connect to a central patch bay and then come back to where the switch goes. So, you know, the tie lines in the live room here, they go to a central patch bay, they normal down, and then they come back to the control room, right? So that's kind of what I mean by hidden modularity is an engineer can come in here and treat this room like a standard control room, live room situation. They can use the mic tie lines as they're used to, it'll come right into the control room, etc. But what that opens up, an artist could lock out multiple rooms in here, and with a couple quick patches, we could turn another control room into an ISO booth that can all come into this room, and vice versa. There's some hidden layers to it so that if you want to bring in more gear, you can quickly add that to the island, but it won't, you know, you won't start doubling up on runs and getting all this, you know, unnecessary amounts of copper.
I want to mention too that this room will be fitted for Atmos as well. You can see that the outlets are in the walls and we're getting ready to do our Atmos design here. So both rooms, Control 1 and 2, will be Atmos as well as our 4th Street location downtown.
Sweet, let's check out the live room.
This is our live room, chock full of vintage gear, Yamaha C6 Grand.
We got the Hammond B3
Yep.
with the Leslie. Got a Whirly in here. We got a ton of other synths that are out in the other room right now. We got a ton of great
vintage
guitar amps
amps
here. Yeah, a bunch of vintage amps. We got the Roland Space Echo down the way here.
Yeah.
And this room has been awesome for large-scale tracking. It's really like helped us unlock a whole new level in terms of the types of projects that we can do.
Honestly, a really, really great room to track drums in, I've found. The Origin sounds fantastic. I like to do sort of that, you know, Coles at knee height, super wide, slam those, and you know, the room just sounds massive, but like just dark enough and out of the way.
There's also another isolation booth, large, actually it's much bigger than a booth, it's a room where you can fit, you know, a big drum kit or a whole nother section of instruments with sight lines through the glass here. So this is Control 2, kind of an all-purpose room. It will be also wired for Dolby Atmos.
So in this room we got the AWS 948 24-channel console. We also had the Atom S5XH mains paired with some bag-end subs, 12-inch subs. We got a lot of great outboard here. Got the Neve Shelford channel and the Portico.
You got the purple audio. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a nice compressor for vocals. You know, we always like to have like a really solid vocal chain. And of course, you know, we have duplicates just in case, you know, both rooms needed the same vocal chain.
To be honest, this is the room that I've been making most of my music in, and people really love it in here, I think, because we got the windows during the day. It's just like so nice to have the natural light, and that can extend a session by like 6 hours. It's just cozy in here. I think a lot of times with engineers, it obviously is important to be focused on the quality of the audio, but there's a lot of studios and engineers who kind of, they just see that as like, it's just my job to make it sound good. And it's like, yeah, but you gotta make it look good and feel good and be comfortable and everything. That's what people are coming back for. It's been really cool to be involved in kind of the interior design of the space as well. You know, we've got like the iconic motorcycle on the ceiling now. I know that that's what rappers are leaving the studio and remembering in their head, like, oh yeah, the studio with the motorcycle on the ceiling. I feel like it gives us more personal pride for all the staff that are here, that this really feels like our own now and not something that was made by like people before us 20 years ago.
Let's go into the lounge. Now we have a full kitchen here. It's just a conducive environment for relaxing, getting out of the studio for a minute and just clearing your head.
It's also been great for live events, and like listening parties, you know, bigger things that we do in here. We've been able to like live stream DJs from one room, bands onto another, TV here, and in the control room over there.
Yeah,
I feel like they should definitely get a demo of the lift.
Sure.
Yeah.
The bike is here. I mean, it's great that it's a, you know, it's sort of a, oh God. All right, that's it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go any further.
Garages are expensive. It's like $400 for motorcycle storage. So this particular bike fits in the freight elevator. And I thought, well, why don't we just like put it like on the ceiling? And everyone was like, oh, that's so cool. It also fits on a sailboat.
BMW, please sponsor us. People can come in here and get inspired by all of the different surroundings that are in here. And I think being able to specify that one space is for music, one space is for post, allowed us to not have to think like, is that too this or that for the, you know what I mean? Now we can take more bold choices because we have the target market at the right studios.
Having all of these amazing pieces of gear and figuring out how they work for a workflow and for different genres and post workflows and rap sessions and stuff like that is not necessarily something you could be taught. It makes you read the manual like 4 or 5 times and like make sure that you know how things work and become a better engineer.
I think here, it's been really no complaints so far. Like everybody that comes in seems to really like it, and after like 2 years and like a tooth loss to the cause, I feel like we've earned it. It's like very affirming to come in and after a couple of years of like really grinding to get the affirmation from our clients.
This is so much better, and this is definitely the studio that, you know, I dreamed to build.